1-800-449-8686. This is the Phil Hendry Show.
Understand, you are simulating a possible attack, correct, Austin?
That is correct, Phil.
Austin Amarca joins us. The name of the camp is, and it's an interesting name, it's Camp Troubled Eagle. And the camp is a camp for kids during the summer where they go and learn a variety of things, one of which, though, is that self-defense against possible predators, against possible child molesters. I don't think there's ever been anything like this, Austin, in my memory. Has there?
As far as we know, Phil, there hasn't been. And we felt it was high time.
Tell me, where'd you get the name Troubled Eagle?
Troubled Eagle. The eagle is a symbol of our country, and the eagle is troubled. The eagle is troubled because the children of the American eagle are being set upon by a variety of predators, adult predators, child molesters, a variety of perverts who prey on our children, even to the point of murder. And it's high time that our children learn, when they are not around a responsible adult, an individual, that they know how to defend themselves. And understand, please, that we simulate the possible attack, and when you do that, and you do everything you can to create that environment, that includes, we deal in our workshop with this kind of thing, then you are able to help protect these children much, much better. And that's why we are so very, very grateful for the help that we get every summer.
All right, now, the kids go to this camp, and they learn these techniques. Is it a regular summer camp?
Yeah, we have at the camp, Phil, anywhere from probably 100 to 200 children over a 2-week period. We have canoeing, we have fishing, we have archery. But at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when everything stops in the camp, and that's where we begin to assemble the kids and start with the basics on how to recognize an individual who may want to do them harm. We're very serious about this. We have a nurse on staff who is with us, can help explain some of the things that the kids are seeing, and it's very controversial. It's something that's groundbreaking.
You gave an interview with one of the media that said that you believe that radical measures are needed to protect children. And I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, I went on record as saying that perhaps we ought to make anyone guilty of murdering a child under the age of 10, that they be guilty of a federal offense.
Well, I think that the area of deterrent is good, Phil, but I think it's not enough. I think we've got to start teaching the kids that they've got to recognize what's happening, to do things to avoid it, and that means some radical answers. So we have a very unusual camp, but one that I think is going to save a lot of kids' lives.
All right, now you talking about simulating possible attacks. What does that entail?
Thank you, Phil. What we do is we will try to educate the child as to different things that might happen, different individuals that might want to do them harm. And to do that, we have decided that a radical approach is needed. Sometimes a child can, in theory, grasp what you're saying to them about their self-protection, but in reality they don't know. And so when we do that, we do everything that we can to create the environment. That includes we're dealing in a workshop with an individual who may expose himself to children. We do recreate that event. And
okay, is the counselor? You're the counselor. Are you using mannequins?
No. In fact, what we do out of sensitivity, I primarily will lead this workshop. And we do have 2 or 3 select counselors who partially do disrobe to show, what can happen to these kids. And it's controversial.
Boy, I'll say it is. Yeah, I mean, you must have, that is very controversial. Do you have any pushback?
Well, if a 10-year-old child, a 10-year-old girl is set upon by a pervert who likes to expose himself, if she's inexperienced at this or hasn't seen it before, she may not know what she's being exposed to, or that it's bad. In our workshop, this is a very sensitive time.
Now, when you say there's a select group of counselors who are partially disrobing, are you talking about disrobing to show the genitals.
That is correct. But we do it in a very sensitive way. Now, that kid understands that this is a demonstration of what they should not be exposed to, or from an older adult. If they try to make them put their hands someplace and they wonder what, that is, then they'll know from this workshop. So what we're doing, a lot of people will criticize, but we're out here to try and protect kids from being abducted or otherwise exposed to these perverts.
Austin Amarca joins us. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. The camp is called Camp Troubled Eagle. I like the name of the camp because you're saying that the eagle, the symbol of America, is troubled by by what's happening to children. Now, this is a method that you're using when you're saying that the kids possibly are being, someone's flashing them. You do that.
In the camp, we do it. Now,
how do the parents react? Let me ask you this.
Just understand, Phil, we're not doing this, just so people understand, we're not doing this because we get some sort of a perverse thrill out of it. We're doing it because we need to. If you say to a little girl, a man may expose himself to you, and if she says, what do you mean by that? How are you possibly going to make her understand it? How are you possibly going to make her understand it unless you actually do it and show her, okay, this is what we mean. Now, we do have a nurse there and a variety of adults who will help the child understand what she's looking at, because she may not even know. And if you have a predatory adult who is trying to take advantage of a child, and that adult may say, put your hand here, and the kid doesn't know what it is that he's being asked to hold on to, you can say, this is it. And so what we're doing, and understand...
Let me ask you, how do parents react to this? I mean, this is extremely radical. I understand that it's groundbreaking. What do you say to the parents?
Well, this was not... this aspect...
What do you say to the parents who may object or otherwise question this? You're exposing yourself to the kids to show them what a pervert might do.
Well, that was not in our brochure. When we signed up the first group, the parents, when the kids came home, they told their parents about it, and the parents did initially have questions.
So the parents found out about it after the fact?
Well, the kids came home and told their parents what they did at the camp, and the parents did initially have questions, and they had some concerns. But once I explained to them what the purpose of the camp was, and I explained to them that it's something that I probably have more information about than they do. And you tell them, because they'll get nervous, you ask them to please just shut their mouth and listen to what I've got to say. I take the lead. And
so they understand that there is a need for you to disrobe in front of their kid in order to teach the child how to avoid being molested or physically assaulted. Because that's my question.
Yeah, no. After I explain it to them, you would be surprised. They thank me. You get the initial call from some hysterical mother. I had a lady call threatening me. But once I told her to just shut her mouth and listen to what I was saying, she calms down, and I found out, Phil, that they wind up thanking me for what we're doing. It's radical, it's groundbreaking, but I challenge anybody out there who is concerned with the well-being of children. When you say to a kid, a man may expose himself to you, and they say, what do you mean? Good luck explaining that.
Well, I mean, you could say to the child, can't you, they're going to, open up their coat?
No, you can't really say it unless you show him. But you do it with sensitivity, and you do it with a great deal of love, and they will understand.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Austin Amarca has joined us. Camp Troubled Eagle, a camp that enables children, teaches children ways of avoiding being set upon by predators and perverts. Here is Anna on the Phil Hendry Show. Anna?
Have such a thing. I want a license by the state and by the law.
Anna, were you listening to us?
Yes.
Okay, what is your comment?
I want that camp licensed by the state for said actions.
Ma'am, this is Austin Amarca. What do you mean licensed by the state, ma'am?
With partial exposure to the sexual organs, it better be licensed by the state, and you'll never get it, you pervert.
Oh, I'm teaching people. You know, the lady, this is exactly what I was telling you about, Phil. They don't understand. Because we care about children, and if
I
this...
understand more than you think.
If this woman...
I'm 75 years
actually
old, and
cared
I've
about...
2 children, and you wouldn't dare touch my child in a camp.
Once I explain it to you, ma'am, let me just tell you what I say to the parents. First of all, you need to shut up and listen to what I'm saying.
I don't need to shut up. I called you. You didn't call me.
But you don't understand what you're hearing. If a kid says to you, Grandma or great-grandma or whatever you are, what do you mean a man may expose himself to me? What are you going to say?
They're not.
What are you going to say? I challenge you to tell me what you say to that child. I challenge you.
In camp or otherwise, I would say never, anywhere on this earth. Never.
Never what? He wouldn't do it?
No.
Well, lady, you live in a fairy world. Because it does happen to children. Children are being victimized every day. See, she hung up. And I'll tell you why she hung up. Because she is one of the last of what I call the gutless generation. Now, a lot of people call them the greatest generation. But I call them...
Well, that lady is not indicative of anything.
Well, she, you know... Boy, she's the kind of person that I just hope I never have to... I hope she's not a parent. If she is a parent, she must have had a kid when she was 100. But all I'm saying is this. If a kid says to you, Daddy, what do you mean the man might show me his thing? What are you going to say to the kid? The only choice you have is, and I don't know how to say this, but the only choice that you've got is to go ahead and start pulling your belt off and unzipping your pants. Because we need to educate these kids as to what it is we're talking about.
All right, Austin, hold the line, okay?
Certainly, Phil.
1-800-449-8686. Austin Amarca joining us. Camp Troubled Eagle, a very radical summer camp that teaches children exactly what are we talking about when we say that you could be hurt by a pervert. What are we talking about when we say that somebody may hurt you? Watch out. They teach them. They show them. And they teach them ways of avoiding and possibly, according to Mr. Amarca anyway, possibly saving their own lives. 1-800, because an adult is not always around. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. This is the world-famous Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Shock and awe meets your radio dial. 1-800-449-8686.
We
the
fired
Phil
the man.
Hendry Show is back.
Because there was a concern there. Tell me about that.
We had a counselor who, during one of our demonstrations, it was during our workshop, it was what you can do to protect yourself from people who are going to expose themselves to you, and we try to explain it to the children. One of our counselors threw a quarter on, and I was very angry at him, threw a quarter on the ground and said, hey, Austin, look, a quarter. And I instinctively turned around and picked it up. I wasn't wearing pants at the time because we were in the middle of this demonstration. So we fired this individual. We don't think it's funny. We don't think it's anything to fool around with. We're concerned with the safety of kids. And I challenge any adult who thinks that our method, as that last, I don't even know what the caller said. She called us perverted. I'd like to know what she's doing to protect children.
Well, the lady didn't perhaps understand, and that's why we're here, to understand why you feel it's necessary in order to teach children how to avoid individuals who are perverted, who are sexual deviant, and who are sexual predators, how to avoid them, why it's necessary to expose yourself. 1-800-449-8686.
Well, I don't think you should put it in that context, Bill.
All right. 1-800, okay, fair enough. 1-800-449-8686. Kathleen, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
I just wanted to comment about what this gentleman is saying. I have children ranging in age from youngest is 15, oldest are 32, and both males and a female. And, you know, this is really beyond belief that you would think that this is a way to train children to protect themselves from
Well, I know
somebody.
It's controversial.
How would I do it? How would I do it? Do you want to hear? Or are you going to tell me to shut up?
I'm not going to tell you to shut up, but I would ask you this.
Okay.
Have your children, to your knowledge, ever been victimized by someone like this. And now that,
Not like
you
that.
should think before you answer, because you may not know.
Sir?
You may not know.
I'm a parent, okay.
A lot of parents' children. Well, ma'am, I'm the expert. A lot of parents' children have not been, do not talk to their parents about these things. We find out about this all the time, that they were molested or otherwise hurt, and they didn't tell their parents till many, many years later.
Sir? Okay, would you like to listen?
I know you like to think you've got a good relationship with your kids.
All right, now let's listen to what the lady's saying.
Thank you, Phil. Yes, I have always had a very open relationship with my children. We have talked about things. Have always used correct identification of the genitalia, a penis, vagina, whatever. I don't know if I can say that on the radio, but those are the proper terms. Okay, and there are private parts. Sir, I'm talking.
Do they know what those are?
Sir, I'm talking. Yes,
ma'am, you asked me. Ma'am, please don't make me tell you to shut up.
Well, I'm not going to make you do anything.
I'm hosting the show, and I want the lady to finish what she's saying.
Yeah, but I deal with these children every day.
I know, but this is the woman's talking about her own kids. Go ahead.
Thank you. If you teach a child what is private, what is personal, that it is not appropriate to touch from a very young age. This is mine. This does not get touched by anybody else. They will learn. They know how to be private, and they will be able to tell somebody.
I've heard about enough
you know
of this,
what,
I hear this all the time,
a child
Mr. Henry.
does not make
it
up
isn't
this
working.
stuff.
It's not working because children are being victimized every day, Mr. Henry. So it's not working. Whatever this lady says, it's not working. We've got millions of American children who are victimized all the time, and it's just not working.
You're saying that a responsible parent, as this lady has indicated, talking...
How many people are like this lady? I ask you. You see the white trash on TV, methamphetamine labs, their own children living in squalor. How many people are actually really treating their children as well as this lady might treat her? We don't know. We have to protect these kids. And I'll tell you right now, if I got to drop my pants in front of every kindergarten, boy, I'll tell you,
you wouldn't be in my kid's kindergarten, that's for darn sure, because that is not appropriate. Teaching children how to protect themselves. You are exposing yourself to them.
Okay, doctor.
That is a form of molestation.
Okay.
For a child that age, they don't know this stuff.
Listening to Dr. Laura doesn't give you a degree in psychology.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to Dr. Laura.
Yeah, sure.
Because she's kind of off the deep end. I happen to be a responsible, intelligent, well-educated parent who takes my responsibility as a parent very seriously.
Well, you think
and I know there are many others who also.
Think very highly
You're making it sound like there is nothing but irresponsible, totally abandoning parents throughout this country.
All right,
True, there are those.
Yeah, we have to move on.
Those.
We have to move on.
I just want to ask this lady one question. What are you going to do the day you're standing in front of a judge telling the judge you don't understand why your son has severed heads in his icebox because he was always such a good boy? What are you going to say then?
Well, that's a little extreme.
Really
no, that happens all the time in this country.
Guess what,
I don't know what country you live in, ma'am.
My sons are United States Marines. They are very upstanding young
United States
men.
Marines? All the more likely.
Wait a minute, what did that mean?
You are.
All the more likely.
What does that mean?
I think you know what it means.
Because of them, you're able to say what you're saying on the radio today. That is the truth.
Ma'am, are you telling me there's no connection between USMC and a head with a bayonet through it in an icebox? Jesus.
Boy, this man
Kathleen,
is way out in left field somewhere.
Well, that's right. I believe in radicalism when it comes to protecting kids.
You're not protecting anybody.
Well, neither are you, ma'am.
All right, fine.
I'm
Kathleen,
sorry, Phil.
thank you very much for your call.
Sorry for
Phil, I'm so sorry that you have listeners like this.
Good luck with the rest of the evening.
Why don't you go back to Dr. Laura, and that way you don't bother Phil.
All right, thank you very much. Good God. You know, Mr. Amarca...
I'm sorry, Phil. I believe that when it comes to protecting kids, I will short you-know-what every cannibal in the Congo if I have to. Now, you have heard from a lot of parents who say, how dare you do this, how dare you do that. I'm turning on court TV. Any given day, you see some mountain trash on there. They couldn't protect their kids from a case of poison ivy. Who's going to do it? You and me? The government? Maybe. Or maybe we can teach the children to look out for themselves just a little bit.
Austin Amarca is with us. You can hear it's a very controversial camp for children where they teach kids how to recognize and protect themselves from predators, even to the point where they have a workshop demonstrating what it looks like when someone exposes themselves to you. They actually expose themselves to the kids. 1-800-449-8686, the world-famous Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686. Extremism. 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
Austin Amarca is joining me, the director of Camp Troubled Eagle, a camp where young children, along with archery and canoeing and all the other things that kids do at camp, learn how to recognize a predator, how to protect themselves from a sexual predator. You said that lady that we talked to just before the break was what?
Phil, she's an example of an individual who is... This is why when I talk to a lot of parents... and they start going off the way that lady did, is I will say to them, as gently as I can, but I will say to them very firmly, shut your mouth and listen to me. And I purposefully didn't tell her to shut her mouth to show you and your callers what can happen, how this know-it-all attitude takes over. Now, someday, and I hope it never happens, but someday she may be standing in a courtroom next to one of her sons, trying to explain to a judge how he was a nice little boy, and how he never, ever exhibited any interest in setting fire. I get very emotional, I'm sorry.
I can tell.
Because I saw that happen once.
What?
I saw an individual cement shut the doors of a senior citizen center and set fire to it.
Jesus.
I testified against him in court, and I knew this man as a young man. And he was a very dear friend of mine. So that lady someday is standing in a courtroom with that Marine Corps son of hers, where she's got to explain to a judge how he was a nice little boy, and she never in her wildest dreams ever imagined that someday he would go and get quick dry cement shut all the emergency exits to a downtown theater, and then throw a lit cigarette butt in on highly flammable, tattered, pre-war carpeting. I'm only hoping that doesn't happen.
Austin and Mark, I know that children traumatized are potential crime problems themselves.
This is the number one concern, Phil. A child can grow up to become a problem for society.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Rhonda, hi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I'd like to read the research that supports his methods. Could he point me into some articles or some dates or some research that points to the efficacy of these methods?
I'd be very happy to. But you asking that question is almost like you say you don't believe me.
Well, of course I don't. Unless it's research-based, I'm not going to believe you.
Well, but ma'am, all the things that we've got so far don't work either.
Pardon?
I said everything that we know so far that we try to apply, it doesn't work. We still have children that are being molested. We still have children that are being murdered. We still have children that are being abducted and sexually molested. So can you point to something that does work?
Well,
there, I got you.
Well,
so I can point you to all kinds of research. I got you pretty good with that.
Can you tell me what state do you operate out of? What state actually allows you to operate?
Well, you got a lot of questions.
I think it's a fair question.
I operate out of the state of Delaware.
Okay, so
what
you're
state
in Delaware.
Are you in Delaware?
So can I Google you and find you on the web? Are you on the web?
Can you do what? Can you do what?
Can I type you into a search engine and find you on the web?
I guess.
Okay, and so I could contact the authorities in Delaware and let them know that you're doing something that probably is more detrimental to children.
No, you shouldn't say that. Well, you're going to tell the cops their business? Hello, police officer, this man's doing something that's more detrimental. I mean, what are you, a psychologist, ma'am? Is that what you're going to tell the police their business?
Actually, I have a PhD in special education, and I've worked with kids with emotional disturbance who have been victimized and abused for years.
Okay.
And it really upsets me that someone like you who gets a little bit of publicity because of your outrageous methods.
I happen to be very groundbreaking.
People believe that instead of going and looking at, okay, if we don't know what works, let's sit down and systematically find a way.
Well, Rhonda, we've been doing it your way for a lot of years, and you haven't
What is my way? You don't even know my way.
We've got children being victimized over and over again by people because your way and society's way hasn't worked. We got children being murdered, molested, and you come on and you start jaw-jacking at me about my method? Please. I can tell you
Sorry,
that children...
dropping your drawers in front of a bunch of children is not going to protect them from molestation.
Well, ma'am, that's like me calling you some kind of a witch doctor because I don't understand what you do for a living. I'm saying that kids...
Look, you even said you had a counselor that threw a quarter on the ground as a big laugh.
Okay, does that make the whole thing wrong because some guy pulled a gag like that?
I mean, he throws a quarter and you bend over to pick the quarter up in front of all the kids?
I fired the guy. Christ.
Well, hey, how do you go through the process of selecting your counselors in the first place? I mean, how do you make sure they're not sex offenders?
And how do you make sure that what you're doing isn't making the kids worse? Well, now, looks like we got ourselves a dilemma. You can't answer my question any better than I can answer yours. What you do, ma'am, and what I do, hopefully can help you.
I have absolutely no idea what I do.
Yes, I do. I absolutely know what you do. You use all kind of method that doesn't work. It hasn't worked for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and it ain't going to work in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So I drop my pants in front of a kid. Big wow. I'm not doing it to get my kicks. I'm doing it to show the kid this is what it looks like. Don't touch it.
Oh, come on.
Well, let me just give you a suggestion. If you're serious about this and you're certainly passionate about it and you truly believe it, what you ought to do is when the kids leave, you need to track and see, have they been approached by someone? Did they know what to do?
I got it covered.
And collect those data so that you can actually be legitimate.
Gee, Rhonda, I never even thought about that. Thank you so much for telling me all about that. I never thought about that. Good
Have you done it?
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this.
Well, where's your data?
Where's your data? Where's your data? I want to see what you've done. How do I know what you've done is working? Yeah. Ooh, gotcha. I know that stings.
I haven't done that.
Oh, come on.
It's not my interest.
Not your interest. So you sit down with a bunch of kids, show them some doll that's got pubic hair on it, and go, "Did he touch you there?" Then the kid goes out all flipped out.
I have not dealt with it. I don't even do that.
You make your husband linguine pasta. You teach kids to read.
Yeah, I mean, I do something totally different than what you do. I mean,
well, my question is, do you track whether they're actually able to read 2 weeks after you've taught them?
All right, that's a pretty insulting question.
Well, I mean, she's insulting me all over the place.
I can hear what he said.
He said, how do you know they can still read after they leave your classroom?
Well, because they go on and they read in the next grade, and they read in the next grade. Because I use scientifically based practices to teach them to read things that have been put up against evidence and research, something that he has not done.
Well, ma'am, then the kids, as soon as they get old enough, know how to read an arrest warrant as the cops come through their back door. Good going.
All right.
You're such a weirdo.
You know what? You ought to just shut up and listen to a man who knows what he's talking about.
Shut up. Wow.
You know, I'll tell you something. I don't hit women anymore. I don't hit them.
You don't hit women anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to entrust my kid to you.
Ma'am, I am a gentle person when it comes to children. Women with big mouths, you know what I do? I just turn my back and walk away. I didn't used to do it. I used to leave them on the ground where I found them. But now...
Okay. You know...
Boy, you've really outed yourself, bud. You're not going to have one more camper after this call-in show.
Yeah, and we're going to all go to Rhonda, and we're going to have our kids learn how to read C-Spot Run. Just because the kid can say C-Spot Run as a senior...
All right.
Hey, are you drunk?
Am I drunk?
Why?
Well, I might have eased, she tightened my jaws. What? Oh, God. It makes me regret the day that I ever did stop giving a woman a 5-finger freaking knuckle.
All right. Oh, God. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686. Stepping over the line, naked. 1-800-449-8686.
Myself some dinner.
All right, we're going to be done in just a second. I'm on with Austin Amarca of Camp Troubled Eagle, which is a camp that teaches children methods recognizing first molesters and perverts. And I got to tell you, my hat is off to anybody that cares about children and recognizes this for what it is, something that has to end. I'm not one of these people that believes that child molestation is all of a sudden a new phenomenon, that all of a sudden it's like worse in the 20th century. It's been with us for a long time.
Well, Phil, that's true. The crimes against children have been with us since there have been children. There seem to be more of them now, and in fact there are more of them now just because the population is greater, and there's a higher percentage or higher incidence of this. But we've had this for centuries, and it's time to do something about it. And I'll tell you, like I said, if I got to short every cannibal in the Congo, I'll do it.
All right, 1-800-449-8686, and let's go over to Mitzi. Mitzi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Go ahead.
Hi, I just want to make a point to that gentleman who runs the camp.
Yes, ma'am.
I think he is a child molester himself. I think he definitely has some tendencies.
Now I got to tell you to shut your mouth.
No, let me tell you something, Susan. You shut the hell up. How's that?
You shut your mouth.
I think you've got some child molestation issues.
I care about
and
children.
your camp doesn't work anymore than some guy telling a woman that the way she can prevent rape is by being raped. I think you're a sick puppy, and I think
what you know
should go along with the rest of the child molesters and just get fried. But you're sick, and your approach is messed up. I think I'd rather go with Rhonda's approach there.
Let's see. Hold on for a minute. What?
But the microwave bell went off. I got to get my dinner.
Well, go ahead. Let me just tell Mitzi that we need to have a dialogue, Mitzi. I understand you're upset. We need to have a dialogue and not...
Okay, I got it. Let me just address what this lady said. And I will address it, Mitzi, in the level of discourse that you've addressed me in. You're an idiot.
Right. Oh, I'm so afraid of you. Promise you won't knock me down, because I know how brutal you can be, even though you gave that up. And be sure to teach the kiddies that now, won't you?
You don't care about kids. What do you teach them?
Honey, you're a pervert, sweetie.
Ma'am, all the boyfriends that you have over at your house, all of your boyfriends, how many of your boyfriends have molested your kids?
No, but he molests me all the time, and it feels mighty good. But I think
I'll bet it does. Ever since you were a little kid, it probably felt mighty good. Just because you were molested as a kid doesn't mean other kids got to go through it. And because you let kids go through it doesn't mean,
serious problem. You need to deal with your child molestation.
You know what? I'll come to your house and kick your ass.
Oh, I am so afraid, honey. I am so afraid.
The microwave.
I think you've got some problems, and any parent who trusts their child to you is an idiot, just like you. Is an idiot.
Mitzi,
you're not teaching kids anything.
Hey,
you're exposing yourself.
Mitzi, you're not making a point just by talking.
You're exposing yourself, honey.
Mitzi.
You are exposing yourself to children.
Mitzi,
That's
this is Phil Hendry, the host of the show.
Yourself,
all right, I got it.
See what I'm talking about? That's the kind of woman that has done children more harm, and there are millions of mothers like that all over America. The boyfriend comes in, mommy's asleep. He wants a little action. He crawls in bed with one of the kids. What does she care? As long as he's taking her out for a lousy drink and a dance so she can wear her tight dresses and she can shake her ass. Oh, God. My mother was like that. Hold on for a minute. It's not ready.
Will you get that microwave fixed?
There it is, Swanson's. How do you handle a hungry man? The manhandler. Go ahead, Phil.
Look, all I'm saying to you is...
God, that's hot. Damn it.
What?
I didn't take the cover off of the dessert. You're supposed to crisp it up. It's apple crisp. Shoot. I got to put it back in.
Will you listen to what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Mac and cheese. Yes, sir, I'm listening.
Would you knock it off with your frozen freaking dinner and listen to me?
Yeah.
Whether or not that lady's a motor mouth is one thing. What I'm saying to you is that you have... Is it ready?
Yeah, it's ready. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm saying to you that you have to understand that there's going to be an awful lot of emotionalism around this.
Hold on, Phil. There's someone at the door.
Go ahead, get it.
Yes, may I help you? Are you the guy that runs the camp? Holy Jesus, you're the father of that girl. Are you dirty?
What happened?
Yeah. Go ahead, try and expose yourself with it jammed right up your rear end. Who is this?
This is Phil Hendry.
I like your show. Wait till my dinner's ready. I gotta
get him all out of here, will you? 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry
Some of you may not know, or some of you may know. I think I've referenced it a few times. I was raised in the Catholic Church. I was baptized, and I went to Catholic schools. I was an altar boy. No, I wasn't molested, because I can see the question in Chris's eyes right now. He has kind of a searching hope. No, I wasn't molested, Chris. Thank you very much for your concern. But I don't doubt for a minute that it happens. We wanted to bring on Father James McQuarters. He's of Belmar Academy in Glendale, California. And it's kind of late notice, Father. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
And we need to, I guess, talk about this from the standpoint of the most recent statements by the Pope, that it's casting a dark suspicion. These accusations of molestation, priests in the Catholic Church. Where is this ultimately going to lead? To an absolute undermining of people's faith?
Well, I think that we need to remember that that we are Catholic, and that we are the one true faith. We are taught this from a very early age. It's part of the liturgy of our faith, that Catholicism is the one true faith, that Jesus said, "Upon this rock I will build my church." He was speaking, of course, of Peter, and that Peter was the first pope, and all others descend from him. And as many people are talking about these allegations of molestation, of child abuse, we have to recall that these are accusations that are being leveled against the Holy Church, and that it is the one true faith of God. And to undermine the Catholic faith is to undermine that faith which was directly given to the people, the Christian people and the Christian liturgy, directly from Jesus Christ.
So I'm not sure I know what you're saying. You're saying to accuse priests of molestation, you're undermining the one true faith.
That is paramount, I think. If it comes from to accusing priests of molestation, remember what you're doing. Remember who you are accusing.
You're accusing priests of the one true faith.
You are accusing Catholic priests of the one true faith, which is the Catholic faith. And we were the ones that baptized these children. We're the ones that gave them communion. More importantly, we forgive sin. And if a priest, for whatever reason, is accused of and is found to be culpable in the molestation of a child, remember that as a priest we can forgive sin. In the Catholic faith we have the sacrament of reconciliation.
Which is confession, right?
Which is the sacrament of confession. You confess your sin. So a priest, and this is the good news that I want to say to all parents and concerned citizens and anyone that might have been molested by a priest, the good news is that the priest can forgive himself of the sin of molesting a child. So it's pointless really to bring a priest up on charges before the authorities, because he has confessed his sin to himself and he has forgiven himself.
Okay, a lot of people don't know what confession is, but Catholics go to confession and confess their sins.
Well, but they're confessing their sins to a priest.
Right, they're confessing their sins to a priest.
So what we'd say to the people is let it go. Let go of this campaign that you've been on for a number of years, 30 years, 40 years in some cases. Let go of this, because you are meddling in the affairs of the church. You're trifling with the absolute authority of the priesthood. And I think you could be turning God against you. Because
well, how would you be turning God against... how would you be turning God against yourself if you're asking, did this priest molest?
Because he's a priest of the Catholic faith. He's already gone to confession. He's already forgiven his own sin. So what's the point? There's an old saying that a lot of people use, and I'm not sure if it's appropriate, but I think it might be for this particular point in our argument. It's called breaking your balls. And when you break someone's balls, it means you're unfairly accusing, unfairly castigating them. And I'd say you're breaking the Catholic Church's balls on this situation with the priest. What we'd want people to say is that priests, and understand, priests are subject to the same temptations that everyone else is. and will act out on them sometimes, I think you have to understand that they were tempted by perhaps these young people. And
are you saying the kids they molested have some culpability?
I'm saying a priest is a human being.
But you're saying that the young people have some culpability.
He was tempted. I don't know if it was on purpose, but you're beginning to go down a road that is a long road with no turn when you accuse a priest who is a priest of the Catholic faith of committing this grievous sin. God is protective of his church. So let it go. You've had a hard-on for this thing now.
You know, this is some of the colloquial phrases.
Well, they've got a hard-on for the priest now for the last 30, 40 years. Let it go, people. Just relax, ease into it, take a cigarette break on this. The priests that have committed these molestations went to confession. And
well, how does a priest go to confession on himself? And
well, you sit and you say, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned," and then you answer yourself, "Okay, what's the problem?" It's like talking to yourself, and then you give yourself penance. And then you are forgiven. So if the priest has done this, I don't think there's any point in breaking our balls on this deal. And that's why we say the priest is also the victim, too, in this situation.
All right, Father James McWhorter, who claims that the priests themselves are the victims in the sexual molestation accusations, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Can I just ask you a question, Father? What do you mean the public has been breaking the Catholic Church's balls over this thing?
I'm saying they can't seem to let this thing go because we've already heard the accusations. I've already explained that what you're doing is you're trifling with the one true faith, which is the Catholic faith. And
well, you know that there's a lot of Protestants, there's a lot of Jews, there are a lot of Buddhists. A lot of people would say Catholicism is not the one true faith.
And they'd be wrong.
And they'd be wrong.
They would be wrong because the Catholic faith was the first Christian faith. And the Catholic Church was the very first Christian church. And so we have a direct hotline to God on that level. We've got what you might call a pipeline. You know, we're wired in. God gives us the word, and then we act accordingly. And if God says to us, all right, go to confession, confess that you molested the child, then we confess we molested the child, and all is better. So don't break our castanets on this, and let's move on. Ecumenical 2's coming up. Going to have some nice things going on with that. Lutherans are coming around. Just relax, people.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Let me go to Kim here on the Phil Hendry Show. Kim, go ahead.
Yes, I am Catholic, okay? I think this is ridiculous and very hypocritical for this priest to sit here and say that everyone is human and that a priest has forgiven himself. A priest, no matter if he is a
Kim, I want to remind you are speaking to a priest.
Yes, I realize that,
okay?
All right,
and I'd like you to speak with some respect, darling, because...
Okay, let me tell you something, okay?
Remember
you
you're
are
speaking.
A priest.
I'm a
representative of
Jesus Christ.
I believe in God.
I'm a representative of Jesus Christ.
God forgives all children. I do not have to bow in front of a priest when I die and go to heaven. I have to answer to God. When you die, will have to answer to God as well. So there's no way you're going to sit there and tell me that a priest is human and just like everyone else, but it's a ridiculous crusade because he has already forgiven himself. It's not about him to forgive himself. It is about God. God is a higher power. And you as priests should know that.
Well,
no human can forgive themselves.
Of course I understand that, Kim.
That is ridiculous. And it's outrageous for you to even think that or to say that child that they were molested by, that someone of God was tempted. Everyone is tempted. People of God, as a priest, is supposed to have more courage than anyone. That is why God has chosen them to become a priest.
All right, Kim, I'd like to say one thing to you. I think what you're saying is very well founded, but you have to understand if a priest steals a kiss in the moonlight, if he puts his hands on a little boy's, if he takes a wee peek.
What do you mean he steals a kiss in the moonlight?
I'm saying he's subject to the same temptations we all are.
Exactly. He is a human man, and he cannot forgive himself because it is up to God. That's why we all bow down to God.
But I want to say also, I'm also a priest. So I can say confession to myself, forgive myself.
And then go out and molest a kid the next night?
Okay,
I'm not saying I go and do that. No, I'm saying if you see a nice... Let me say this, Kim. If I see a young lady, I took a vow of celibacy.
Exactly.
Now, a young lady walks into my parish or she walks into one of our schools, And she's wearing a pair of shorts that hug it up tight.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at camel toe or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
This is a temptation that she knows that she is leveling at me. And what am I supposed to do? Go off into the night, take a wee wank, and I'm...
You know, you're talking like, you know, Father, forgive me, I was raised Catholic like him. What do you mean go off with a wee wank?
I'm saying just like a human man, I've got to do something about that.
I say if you feel the temptation is strong enough for you to lay your hands on an innocent child, then you need to just remove yourself from the church, because that's not where you're supposed to be.
But
a church is supposed to be a place where a child, if they have been molested or they feel like something dirty is happening to them, they're supposed to be able to come to a priest and tell them what is going on.
Well, of course
and that
I want
priest
them
is supposed to not to molest them.
But Kim, should it be going? I want the child to do that. The temptation of a hairless...
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, do you think that a priest, if they were to, say, become enraged for any reason, and they were for some reason to kill someone, would they be able to just forgive themselves and be off with it? Are they no different than Jeffrey Dahmer?
I'm saying that if a priest called before the liturgy of the church, and a priest who has taken the vow of celibacy, chastity, and poverty, and commits the kind of cannibalistic acts that Jeffrey Dahmer committed, but immediately recognizes that it was wrong, and forgives himself through the sacrament of confession, that he surely will enter the kingdom of heaven. And
oh, come on, Father. What if we found heads of guys in your icebox, and you're in the middle of confession?
Well, I don't understand your question. So, in other words, I cannot be forgiven by Jesus Christ, who was the Lamb of God, and who was sacrificed unto the Holy Spirit. And so I got a head in my icebox. So what do you want from me?
Okay, he's asking you, if you kill 4 people, then you realize you did something wrong, and you're sitting
Tim, you
in
have
confession.
to understand that we are the patrons of the only true faith, the Catholic faith.
Exactly.
And if I, as a priest, feel the frustration of life, and I put my hand on the bare rear end of a child, and I didn't mean to do it, but let's say I went and took a wee peek. Then yes, of course, I'll go.
What are you saying? So you grab someone's rear end, you can go in and give yourself confession?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I'm Catholic.
What if you had a head in the icebox?
I might have to go to a couple. I don't know.
Go to a couple?
Right.
Okay, I'm Catholic. He is Catholic.
2 confessions?
We worship God just like you do, okay? We can confess to God.
Cool.
We do not have to go sit in a little box.
It's cool.
So God can forgive us.
The children say, Kim, it's cool. Chill out. All right?
I mean, this is outrageous for you to be a priest to say this.
But as a priest, I'm closer to the Father than the two of you, so I'll be forgiven. I'm a priest. I'm closer to God than you.
You're a priest?
You cannot sit here and say you're no closer to God than me. You don't know me.
I'm a priest.
You don't know if I sit in church every day, all day long, if I pray to God 24 hours a day.
Don't you understand how it makes sense? I'm a priest. Wouldn't I be closer to God?
Because because you're ordained a priest, then you can go and you can molest people and you can kill people, and there's no reason for us to hold you with any consequences because you're a priest.
Absolutely, Kim. Look, I got to take a break. Kim, I think you're making some good points.
I don't understand what the child's saying.
Oh, I think I do. Thank you. 1-800-449-8686. Father James McWhorter from Belmar Academy speaking to us on the subject of the recent grievous accusations of child molestation among priests in the Catholic Church. His point, since the Catholic faith is the only true faith, and because as a priest he's closer to God than the rest, a priest can forgive himself his sins. 1-800-449-8686, The Phil Hendrie Show. Scandal of... All right, Father...
Phil Hendrie, 1-800-449-8686.
But I know.
All right, Father James McWhorter is with us from Belmar Academy about the scandal of priests molesting children. Are you saying the priests are victims in this, too?
I think we have to consider that, right, because a priest can be traumatized and can be victimized, I think, just as much by the act. If a priest who has been trying to be good and trying to keep his hands to himself and trying not to touch himself in an impure way is inspired to touch a child in a manner that might be impure, I think it's from the culture that he lives in, the MTV and all of that, all of the print ads that show barely clad models drinking the Bacardi rum on the beach, and you know all of the temptations. And now he wants to take a wee peek. And now perhaps he wants, because the sin of and if I can use a euphemism, Phil.
Go ahead, yeah.
To wank is a sin, and the wank is a wrong thing to do. So to take a wee peek and to take a wee squeeze, we think, is perhaps a little less traumatizing.
So in other words, to molest a child is less traumatizing than to masturbate?
I think in the long run it's less offensive to God. And as Catholics, we are close to God. We try to hear his voice. And what's he saying? To take the wee peek, to steal a kiss in the moonlight might not be as bad as having yourself a wank. And that's, I think, the most important thing.
All right, let me go to a phone call here. Cynthia, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello. Cynthia, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
However you pronounce your name.
I'm Father McQuarters.
Father McQuarters, I think you are a disgrace to all priests. And I think that you're a pedophile yourself.
I think you've
caught.
Remember, you're speaking to a priest of God.
Okay, I think you are no man of God.
I am a priest of God.
You know what? You are Lord than life itself. You're scum of the earth.
Why would you say? What have I said that would cause you to say something like that?
How in the world could you say that it's okay to touch a child and to traumatize a child? And it's better to do that than to masturbate. In the first place...
Because the sin of wank is against the Lord.
You know, Father McCarthy,
the sin of
the Catholic Church should really get rid of you because you are no priest. You are no man of God. You are not anointed with Holy Spirit.
I have never laid my hand on a child. I'm just saying.
Yes, but you know what? You're saying that. You're saying that, but everybody that's listening to this radio show are getting disgusted with you because what you're saying is really, truly disgusting, and it's making people sick to their
Cynthia, I've got
stomach.
to tell you something. There's a sin. It's a sin to be a rat. And when you rat someone out, there's another television show that teaches us a great deal. It's called The Sopranos. You know The Sopranos? They show us how they deal with rats on the show.
The Catholic Church should get rid of you because they already gone through enough with the priest and stuff. They already gone through enough of stuff.
Are you Catholic, Cynthia?
And for you, yes, I am Catholic. I think it's ridiculous.
You're not a Baptist.
I think
you're not
that
Baptist.
It's awful.
You're not a Baptist?
No, I'm not. I am not a Baptist.
For some reason, I thought you were a Baptist.
And my husband is Catholic,
well,
and I've been going to the Catholic churches, and I tell you this, you are a disgrace to all Catholics.
So I'm supposed to go out.
The Virgin Mary weeps for you.
So I'm supposed to go out there with the collar of God on and have myself a wank and then smile through it. Is that what you're saying?
You know one thing?
It's like shooting a wad in the eye of...
No, you know that you're wrong.
Sick.
And you know the things that you do.
The child
know for yourself that you are nothing more than a pedophile yourself.
I have never laid my hand on a child.
But you're lying.
I have never laid my hand on a child.
Anybody that's listening to the show...
I think you need to understand that the priest of God
you are not
is
a priest
close
of
to God.
And you keep saying
and as a Catholic, you need to back me up. As a Catholic, you need to back me up. You don't have my back on this.
No, I'm not going to back you up.
Cynthia,
because guess what? You're not a Catholic. You're not a Catholic yourself.
You've got to get my back on this.
Mr. Pedophile.
You don't have my back on this, and I am insulted by a Catholic.
Well, you can be insulted all you'd like, but I'm insulted.
I'm going to speak to God.
It's okay.
I'm going to tell
God
about you.
I have small grandchildren.
I'm going to rat you out to God.
2.5.
All right, Cynthia, you're making some good points because, Father, to say that it's all right to grab a kid's butt rather than, how do you put it, a wee bit of a wank?
Just a wee bit of a...
Yeah. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
Now, Phil Hendry, 1-800-449-8686.
I'm with Father James McWhorter, a Roman Catholic priest. We're talking about the terrible, terrible crisis within the church, the molesting of children by priests. You seem to say that there's some kind of a pass that priests should be given on this behavior.
No, I don't. If I said that, Phil, I did not mean to say that. I'm trying to say to you that the church is the one true faith, and I don't believe that a child should be molested by a priest. I've never molested a child myself. But I will tell you that the pressures of being celibate are such that there are days when the children come off the field from volleyball or they've come off the field from a softball game. I take a wee peek while they're taking a shower. No harm in that. Looking them over, making sure they're all right. And
taking a wee peek while they're taking a shower means what?
I'm just making sure the children are all right, and I think back on it. But that's not molesting a child. That's simply doing what I think is the better thing to do than to be pulling on it. And so I would say to any Catholic listening right now, remember, I'm a priest. Step off. Don't try to get up into my grill about this molestation thing.
Well, step off. I mean, you're saying...
I'm saying step off. Remember, you are talking to a priest of God, a representative of the one true faith.
All right, 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show. Here is Lewis on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead, Lewis.
Father, with all due respect, you said something about
Lewis.
It caught my attention.
How are you doing, Lewis?
Okay.
I'm Father McWhorter.
You said something that caught my attention. I've been a Catholic for 38 years. I really do know my religion. And you said something about that God will forgive. Let me talk for a second. God will forgive your sins. I know that's the truth.
That's right.
But what about
the glory of being a Catholic.
Of your sin? What about the consequence from your sin? What about the consequences that this children is going to have in the future? All the torments, all the problems he's going to get after you do what you did. You say you never laid a hand on a kid. The way you talk, it makes me think that you can be one of the priests in the future to be touching kids.
I am not going to touch a child, but I know that the temptations are out there. You watch the MTV or the VH1, especially behind the music, or you watch some of these interview slugs with Pamela Anderson. She's got hepatitis C. She's a skank. And I would never lower myself to any kind of skankology or the kind of skankism that's being practiced on the cultural circuit today.
Right, but you're saying that...
I can tell you that if I've glanced once at a nude boy as he climbed out of a pool, I did so with the love of Jesus Christ in my heart.
Wait a minute. If you glanced at a nude boy as he walked out of a pool, you did so with the love of Jesus Christ in your heart.
That is correct. And Phil, I'm talking to Lewis. He's a Catholic. You're not a Catholic. So why don't you keep your agnostic nose out of the conversation?
You're not talking like a Catholic. You know what? You're not talking like a Catholic. I am a
believe in the
Catholic.
sacraments.
You say that right. I am a Catholic. And I tell you what, if you are a priest and if you're a Catholic, you really need to see a doctor because you're sick. What you're saying is you can touch
I'm sick because
a
I
kid
have the love of Jesus.
and God will forgive you, but you not think about the damage you're going to create or do to this kid.
What damage
and in
am I
the
going to create
future
on
of
a
this
child?
kid.
What damage
God will forgive all your sins if you confess.
What
Let me
damage
tell
will
you
I create
something.
on a
You
child
said
because I look at his bare
Let me tell you something. You said something about that. Every time you commit a sin, you confess yourself.
Yes, I confess to myself because
the head of my church
God bless
is
the Disney
John
Channel.
Paul II. The head of my church is John Paul II. And he confessed with other priests. He never confessed with himself.
Really?
Because it's not you forgiving the sins. It's Jesus. It's God forgiving the sins.
But that doesn't make any sense because he...
No, you can't confess to yourself.
Well, I think that's ridiculous.
No, because what you're telling people, what you're telling the Catholics is that I can confess myself because I'm closer to God. And that's not right. That's not true.
Well, you know that Catholicism is the one true
forgive me,
faith,
Father,
Louis.
I don't think you're a priest.
Louis,
if you are,
I am a priest.
you really have a problem.
I went to St.
really have a
Melvin's
problem.
Seminary, and I went to St. Melvin's Seminary.
Go back
Melville,
and
Oregon.
read the Bible again. Go back and
I'm
read
Irish.
the books of the Catholic Church because you are not acting like a Catholic. You are a disgrace. The lady before was saying that you're a disgrace. You are.
I'm a disgrace, and
you
are.
I have a 10-year-old son.
You're not a
and
priest.
believe me, I will lose my religion if a priest like you touches my son's
I didn't
butt.
say I touch.
And I'll probably forgive you in a little time, but on the beginning,
I never said
won't
that I would
forgive
touch
you.
Louis.
I will try to take some piece of you because you cannot be saying that a priest can do that and God is allowed to do that because that's a sin and He's going to forgive you. That's not the right way to do. You know what the right way to do?
Don't mess with me.
I know we are all sinners and we can commit sin. But if I start to think about a sin, I'm probably going to commit it.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
You don't see anything wrong with taking a wee peek at his bare bum.
I'd never touch his smooth brown skin, Luis.
But you will. You will.
Don't worry about it.
You are on your way to do that.
It sounds like it, and I think Lewis and a couple of other people have said, you sound like a pedophile waiting to happen.
I am trying to defend the Holy Mother Church of Rome against the accusations that this church is undermined by
you're not doing
the scandology of some
You're not doing that. I'm sorry. You're not doing
Pamela
that.
Anderson. I'm not going out into some late-night bar. I didn't fly an airplane into a building either. Like
You're
some
not
of these
doing
other,
that.
Like some
You're
of the
not
brownies
doing
do,
that.
and some of those Middle East jive.
You need to confess with another priest and tell him what you just said on the radio.
You know,
because you're not helping the Catholic Church. You just put the Catholic Church way under
those towel heads
displays.
But I'll tell you one
you are
thing.
a disgrace.
What do you think
and
is worse?
You should go back
you think
and
it's
talk
worse
to the Lord and
for
ask
me
the Lord to forgive your sins because you have many.
Than to
and
have
probably
some
you need to see a doctor.
plane into a building. And I'd ask...
Wait a minute, are you comparing child molestation to flying an airplane into a building?
I would ask either one of you gentlemen what's worse. To take a wee peek at the bare bum of a boy, or to fly a plane into a building. I'd say that the towel head... No, the towel head's got it all over me. Because I can tell you...
Oh, the towel head's got it all over you.
Yes, that's right. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a wee peek at...
Yeah, I got the wee peek. Thank you, Lewis. 1-800-449-8686.
You know, Phil, you're talking to me in a manner that is insolent. And if you were in one of our schools, perhaps our 4th or 5th grade class, I'd send you up to the Dean of Discipline. Because
Don't worry about it, Father. I've seen a lot of deans of discipline. I went through the whole Catholic school system. So,
Well, you don't sound like you're better off for it, because I can tell you speak with disrespect to a priest of God. And that's what I do. I'm a priest. Step off. Don't F with me. I think it's terrible, what you've done.
Father, don't try to get to any guilt feelings.
You're a Catholic, right?
I was raised Catholic, yes.
I think it's...
Don't try to get to my guilt feelings about being a Catholic, okay? I think what you're saying is whack. You know what I mean by whack?
You mean wank?
No, I don't. I didn't say wank, did I? I said whack. Lori, hi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead.
Yes, this person is a sick person. This is why there's been a lot of Catholics that left the church because of these people pretending to be priests, trying to teach these young kids that have no clue.
I happen to be a priest. Don't tell me I'm pretending to be a priest.
Led in the wrong direction. God is a good God. God wants you to think pure thoughts, but you're thinking really sick thoughts. And guess what? Yeah, God forgives, but you know what? Some people do go to hell. And I'm sure you're going to go right to hell.
You're not a Catholic,
I can't.
so what do you know?
I'm a Catholic born and raised.
There's no Catholic woman that weighs over 300 pounds.
And guess what? I'm 125, sweetheart.
Well, you talk like you're a big woman. Can you
back
it up?
I am a big woman in my heart and in my head, but you're thinking with your wrong head, and priests aren't supposed to be thinking with any head.
Father, a lot of people have accused you of not being a priest. Are you a priest?
You want to look at my turned-around collar? You want to look at it?
You want to turned around. Okay. It's turned up your, you know what?
You know something, Laurie? God will not forgive you for insulting a priest
God
of
will
God.
forgive me
I
because God
happen to
is
be the
a good
representative
God.
of Jesus on this planet.
God
and
is
if I
a
got
good
you
God,
in confession,
you are sick.
You wouldn't even your penance would never end.
My
I'd have
penance,
you kneeling before the Virgin
I'm doing
Mary,
my penance
and
here
you do
on earth,
8 million
listening
Hail
to
Marys.
sick people
Hail
like
Mary,
you.
full of grace. The Lord is with thee.
Yeah.
Blessed art
the
thou
Lord
among
is with
women,
me,
and
not
blessed
with...
art the... You are a real slut. And
now you're really angry.
Yeah, she pissed me off. That's the type of girl that'd peek at the nuns when you were a girl, weren't you, Laurie?
1-800-449-8686. Father McWhorter's talking to us here.
However, gluttony is mentioned as a heck of a lot more in the good book than touching a kid. So
fine. 1-800-449-8686. Father McWhorter's here talking about the horrible, horrible controversy of child molestation in the church. And apparently he made some reference to Pamela Anderson having hepatitis C. Like, and something about she's a skank, but he's okay. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
One 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
With Father James McWhorter. He's a priest at Belmar Academy. Father, you mentioned that you deal with kids all the time in a confessional or in a counseling situation having to do with sex?
Phil, I think obviously that is the role of many parish priests, a counselor. You have a child who will come to you, and a young man. A young man has turned 13, 14, and suddenly he's interested in girls. And, of course, he has become aroused and will come for counseling. And I think that for people to say there is some kind of a sin being committed when a priest of God, one called to the cloth as I have been, to ask the young man, what do you mean you're aroused? He'll say, well, Father, I feel as if I want to be with a girl. And I'll ask him to loosen his belt so that we can see what he's talking about. And I can tell you that there's nothing wrong. But at the end of the day, if I've got a wee bit of ball sweat on my hand, that I've tried to help a young man.
Well, I don't know where you're coming from, man.
Well, you're not a priest, are you?
No, I'm not a priest. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
I'm trying to help a young man navigate the very difficult and rocky waters of puberty. And if there's a wee bit of ball sweat on my hand, so be it.
A wee bit of ball sweat, huh?
That's right.
Sylvia, you're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Yes, Father, good evening.
Yes, this is Father McWhorter.
Good evening, Father McWhorter.
Good night.
First of all, I want you to know that I'm a Catholic. I've always been a Catholic, and I hope to die. Thank you, Father. And I hope to die a Catholic.
In nomine Patris, Spiritus, Spiritus Sancti, Amen. I'm going to bless you. Kneel down, Sylvia. I'd like to bless you. I bless Sylvia, my member of God's flock, a member of Jesus' flock in Miami, Florida. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
If you really are a priest,
Sylvia,
I appreciate.
You can come up off your knees now and sit down.
Father, if you really are a priest,
just let her talk, okay?
I'm sorry.
If you really are a priest, I appreciate the blessing, but you do not sound like a priest. I have always been around.
Say what?
Excuse me, Father. It's my turn to talk.
It is your turn
to talk. You
don't
sound like a priest, because a priest should be preaching the words of the Lord, who said, if your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out.
If you have crossed eyes, what?
Father, frankly, you have no business peeking into the showers of boys, which, by the way, is a very terrible American custom to have girls showering together and boys showering together in school.
Well, where are they supposed to shower?
No, I haven't finished talking. And you peek to see that everything is all right? I think not. And it is quite improper.
You see how filthy your mind is, Sylvia. Why do you go to the filth?
It's not sinful.
Why do you go to the filth?
To loosen the belt of a young man that comes to you. Frankly, Father, I do not think that you are a good priest. I think you're an exemplar of those who are deviating from what is correct.
You hurt me very painfully, and I'd like to counsel you. Are you available
Father,
this evening for
you
a cup
do
of
not
coffee or a
loosen
cocktail?
the belt of anybody.
Sylvia, I simply want to ask
Father,
you.
No, Father.
Are you available for a cocktail?
No, Father. That is you. If you are a priest, I doubt that you're a priest. I think you're an impostor.
Sylvia,
I think that you are an impostor.
Sylvia, I'm hurt by your accusation. I would like to christen you.
Look bad.
I'd like to put something on your forehead.
Father,
you know something, yeah, Sylvia, exactly. I don't think you're a priest, Father.
An impostor.
You think I'm a what?
I think you are an impostor.
I am Father James McWhorter. I'm with the FBI.
I don't believe so. I think you, Father,
what?
I think somebody should take the name of this man down.
I would like to give the ivory blessing on your forehead.
I don't think so. I think you're not a priest.
Okay, if I'm not a priest, how come I know this? In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
You don't have to be a priest to know that.
If I was a priest, I wouldn't know
You
that.
can watch a movie.
What movie? What movie would that be in? I mean, what movie would that be in?
Aha! I just heard your accent fall.
I didn't
Father, no.
What movie is she talking about?
Listen, Mr. Henry, I am very
Mr.
sorry,
Henry?
but that man is an
Yeah, I don't
imposter.
think because I heard him talk like he don't have an Irish accent.
That man is an imposter. Mr. Henry.
Yes, you're right,
please
Sylvia.
don't allow these
All right.
shenanigans to
Well,
go on.
listen, Sylvia, in the name of the Father, Son,
No,
and the Holy Spirit, I gotta
I
get going.
think that man is
Thank you
an...
very much.
Sir,
You
good
just
evening.
chased
I
him,
have nothing
Sylvia.
else to
You
say
just
to
chased
that
him
man.
off, Sylvia. No, he hung up. You chased him off.
I'm telling you, that man is an imposter.
You just chased him
Can
off.
Tell.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell.
You did, Sylvia. Of all the people that called tonight, you were the one. You were the one that... What?
I just want to say, always
No,
have to be Lucky
forget
Charms.
it. Hang up on him.
Yeah, I did.
That man is doing evil.
He's
May
a
I say something to you?
mean bastard. Yeah.
My uncle was a bishop.
Uh-huh.
My uncle died prematurely. He had cancer. And my uncle was a young man.
Yeah.
And he dedicated himself to God.
Mm-hmm.
He was very pious. Let me tell you, it requires a lot of prayer.
Always have to be Lucky Charms.
Oh,
Get out of here.
please turn that man off.
Yes.
It requires a lot of prayer
Yes.
to lead a celibate life.
Yes, of
And
course.
also to lead a good life in marriage.
Yeah.
Because when you make a vow,
Right.
it requires a lot of prayer. That man that is
I have all the
talking-
kids meet the bishop.
he is
And
not
Yeah,
a
okay,
priest.
great.
That man is not a priest.
No, he's not. And I think that, thank God for your call, that we
And
were
I
able to
thank you
smoke
very
him
much
out.
for,
Thank you,
for
dear.
allowing me to speak.
Okay, Sylvia. Thank you, hon.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. All the kids meet the bishop. 1-800-449-8686. By the way, in case you didn't know, that was me doing the voice of the priest, and the people calling in, they thought it was a real priest or at least some kind of a scumbag, which I would agree he was a scumbag, but it was me who was the scumbag. See, that's the Phil Hendry Show. I do the voice of the guy, and yeah, well, you'll figure it out. Go get a backstage pass, philhendryshow.com, PHILHENDRIE show.com. While you're there, check out our Fiji pictures, get the backstage pass, get our 30-day archive, our listen live, everything. 1-800-449-8686 is our number. 1-800-449-8686 is the Phil Hendry Show.
One 1-800-449-8686. This is the Phil Hendry Show.
Understand, you are simulating a possible attack, correct, Austin?
That is correct, Phil.
Now, Phil Hendry. 1-800-449-8686.
All right, Mr. Green, tell me what you did.
All I did, Mr. Henry, was I took the little girl by the hand, I led her across the street,
Yeah, but she was screaming, right?
because kids are afraid of dogs. I told her I've got puppies in the van, and I took her across the street. I put her in the van to see the puppies, and for that, I was almost beaten to death. I can tell you what the doctor told me. I had 2 cracked ribs, multiple bruising to my face, and part of my scalp was lacerated because I took this girl up on the freeway to show her the puppies that I had. Now, these are Scottish Terrier puppies. And
Why were you driving with this child who was already screaming, didn't want to get in your van? Why were you up on the freeway?
I told her that the puppies are cute when they stick their head out the window and feel the air. If you've ever owned dogs, one of the more endearing things about a dog is that they love to put their faces out in the wind. It's something that dogs enjoy. You put them up on the freeway, it's a lot of fun to see the dogs put their faces out. And
So this girl you took by the hand, put in your van, took up onto the freeway, and then you brought her back?
then I brought her back, yes. And I'm asking you, why is it then I'm deserving of a beating?
Because you took a girl from a park, a 5-year-old girl that you say was screaming.
Yeah, she was screaming, but I didn't know that she was screaming necessarily because she didn't want to go with me. I know that kids are afraid of dogs. And I told her, do you want to see a puppy? And she said yes. So that was my first indication that yes, she did. And then when I took her by the hand, she started to scream, and I said, I know you're probably afraid of the dogs. All right? Now, when I pulled back up with this child, who I had fully intended on taking back to the park, then I am assaulted by 3 men, 3 cracked ribs, severe laceration. I've got a lacerated kidney as a result of this, because this kid decides to change her mind, and now she's screaming.
Well, you said you thought she was screaming because she was afraid of dogs.
Well, as it turns out, the kid wouldn't stop screaming, and everybody took that to mean that she was afraid. I asked her, do you want to see puppies? And she said yes. I took her by the hand, and then she started to scream. And I knew that what was really bothering her was the fear of the dogs. But she wouldn't stop the screaming. That's why I put the sock in her mouth, and that's why I taped the sock in.
All right, well, you got to understand something, Mr. Green. Take a child from a park, put the child in a van, stick a sock in her mouth, and tape it. That looks like kidnapping.
Well, it may look like kidnapping, but let me tell you what I have suffered from, and I think what a lot of people are suffering from, and that is brutality at the hands of these vigilantes who all think that they want to be the ones who are going to find Elizabeth Smart, or they all think they're going to be the ones who are going to clean up the country from terrorists. They're these neighborhood vigilantes. They go out and they get their shotguns and their pieces of wood, and all I wanted to do was show some kids some puppies that I had in the back of the van.
Well, you pulled up to a playground. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Why did you tell me you were looking around to make sure there were no adults around?
Because, and again, you're twisting my words.
No, I'm not twisting your words. In the facts you sent to my producer, you admit to the fact you looked around to make sure there were no adults around.
Because, as I said to your producer, and I'm sorry that she didn't communicate this to you, I wanted it to be a surprise for the adults if the kids wanted the puppies. Okay?
So you didn't want any adult to know that you were showing puppies to these children in the playground because you wanted it to be a surprise?
Yes. And I said that to your producer, and again, I am sorry to see that she did not elect to share that with you. But I will tell you, I've dealt with the media now for the last 24 hours on this, and there isn't one person, not one, who understands that I am a victim of circumstance and that I never intended to harm that child at all.
1-800-449-8686 is our number. Robert Green, who was, and you were eventually arrested.
I was arrested by the police, by the Linwood police. I was taken into custody. I was treated at the scene, but taken into custody. I told them my story. I have been released on bail. This is a nightmare for my family, my wife, and friends of mine, even given the fact that all I did was want to show a girl some puppies that I had in the back of a van.
Well, these people believed you to be a pervert.
Well, I didn't look like a pervert, Mr. Henry. And
what makes you think you didn't look like a pervert?
You can ask the police. When I was arrested, I was wearing a 3-piece suit. I was wearing wingtips. My hair was combed. I'm clean cut. I am completely above reproach in my behavior with these children.
Let's go back. You pull up in a van.
In a Windstar van.
You pull up in a van. You get out. You've got puppies in the back?
I had the puppies at my home. The idea...
So you don't even have the dogs in the back?
I had 1 or 2 of them, but most of them were at my home.
You had 2 puppies in the back. The rest were at your home. You were going to take the children to your home.
Yes, sir. So that makes me a pervert now. Is that correct?
I want to be very clear. You pulled up in your van. You got out wearing a 3-piece suit and wingtips, and you went over to some kids at a playground, and you said, do you want to see some puppies?
And they answered yes. And I want that to be in the record, and I want that to be clear. They said yes, they did.
All right. And then you grabbed her by the hand?
I said, come on, don't be scared, because I know kids are afraid of puppies. I took the girl across the street.
By the way, her name is not being released by the police because she was returned unharmed.
You better believe she was returned unharmed. And what has happened to this society that's a crime to see a puppy lick a child's face?
All right, so you took the child across the street to your van. You put her in the van. You said, would you like to see how the dogs like to stick their head out the window? And you took off in the van.
Well, when you say took off...
Well, you drove away in the van.
Yes. And then I brought her back.
After you taped a sock into her mouth.
She was screaming, and it was unbelievable because I had done nothing wrong. She was going to attract attention. I had done nothing wrong.
You still maintain you did nothing wrong by taking this child against her will?
It was not against her will because she did say she wanted to see the puppies.
1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Mr. Robert Green, who's got himself some problem with the police. You pulled up with dogs. You went across the street. You put the kid in the van. She said she wanted to see the puppies. You took her into the van, and you've been charged with kidnapping. You've also been charged with a aggravated assault charge by putting that sock in her mouth.
That to me is an outrage, Mr. Henry. I am a businessman. I have never harmed anyone in my life.
You stuck a sock in this kid's mouth, taped her shut, and now you're telling me that you didn't have all the puppies. Most of them were at your house.
Yes, because the dogs get car sick. Do I look like a pervert? I sent over my photograph.
You're wearing a three-piece suit with wingtips.
Yes, sir.
Were you going to take that kid to your house?
That's where the dogs were. That's where the dogs were.
You have to see it the way a lot of parents are going to see this, Mr. Green. You got a child in a van against her will.
No, she was not. It was not against her will. She said she wanted to see the puppies.
Did you tell her they were at your house?
She knew they were in the van. And then I said, have you ever seen them, the way they look when their head stuck out the window? And she said no. And I said, well, I'll show you. And that's when I took off. So she tacitly approved of me driving away and getting onto the freeway.
You call that tacit approval when she says, no, I haven't?
Yes, I do, sir. All right. My point, Mr. Henry, again, is that there are too many of these vigilantes who think they're going to run around out there in public, and they're going to be the big bad daddies who are going to beat up on a guy like me simply trying to get some puppies to a kid.
Were you going to give them away?
Yeah, I was going to give them away.
1-800-449-8686. Here is Angela on the Phil Henry Show. Angela, go ahead.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Why would you take two of the puppies to a playground to show children?
Right.
Leave them in the car. Well, you didn't want to take all of them for some reason. Why would you leave them in the van?
The animals get car sick.
Okay. Why did you take two then?
Oh, well, I took two of the animals. I took two of the stronger ones. One's name is Tuglug, and the other one's name is Muffy. They're two strong animals. The other puppies seem to get car sick.
You know what? I don't even care what their names are. That's totally irrelevant.
Well, I'm answering your question, and you're getting upset because I'm answering your questions good.
I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you for answering my question. However, as a logical person...
And Muffy's the pick of the litter, and that's why I brought her out so the kids could see that one. They're sheepdogs.
Splendid. How could you, as a logical person, think that parents should not and would not be upset that you would pull up in front of a playground in a van, dressed meticulously or not, grab a little girl by the hand because you are saying she was afraid of the puppies?
Whoa. What do you mean grab?
No. Let me make... Okay, holding her hand and walking her across the street. She was a little girl. She does not know someone's going to hurt her. At that age, everyone's good.
Wait a minute,
you don't know that there are bad people.
The news has been all over the place about the Elizabeth Smart girl and all of those poor kids. So the kid's been seeing the news. She knows what she's doing.
No, at 5 years old, she does not know what she's doing.
How does she know?
How could you possibly believe that a little girl is not going to look up to an adult who looks like a very smart, intelligent, well-dressed man? Why would she be afraid?
It's been all over the news.
Why would she think that you... It's fine. Parents shield their children from the harsh realities of the world we live in.
So these vigilantes...
Excuse me, may I finish? And then you can reply all you want, and I will not interrupt you.
All right, but I'm the guy with two cracked ribs and a lacerated kidney. Thank you very much.
If I would have found you, you would have had more.
What crime did I commit?
You know what? If you would have walked up to my 5-year-old and taken her to show her something in a van and put her in a van... Would you like to see the puppies how they hang out the window? What kind of frickin' stupid comment is that?
Wait a minute. Obviously, you're not a dog owner. Obviously, you're not a dog. When dogs stick their faces out the window... I know
exactly what dogs do. What a kind of cockamamie story is that? And how in the world do you think it looks when you stick a sock in a child? Are you for real?
That's the thing that I want to say, Angela, is...
All right, I understand that, and the police questioned me at length about that. The kid was screaming.
Well, Dad,
how am I supposed to know that I'm
trying to kill her?
No, wait a second. Wait a minute.
You could be a maniac.
Wait a minute. She said she wanted to see the dogs. All right.
She wanted to see the dogs.
Doesn't want to see cute puppies. I'm 29. I love to see puppies.
Can I ask you a question, ma'am? What happened to the good old days when a kid could go for a ride with a stranger, or you could give a child
Who
some
let
candy?
their kids go for a ride with a stranger?
What's that?
Who let their children ever go for rides with strangers
There was
unless
a
you
time-
grew up in a little tiny town?
There was a time, young lady, in this country where you could get into the car with a stranger and go off and have some lunch. Now, all of a sudden, I got the crap kicked out of me.
What year are you living in?
Exactly. This is 2002, man. We got armored personnel carriers taking our kids to school now. We got rapists, we got muggers, we got every kind of animal out there.
And you're throwing me in with that group.
Well, sir, you didn't hurt the child.
There's not a person that puts a 5-year-old child in a van with a sock in her mouth and expects her to not scream and go crazy. So how would she not think that you were trying to hurt her?
Because kids are afraid of dogs. I thought she was afraid of the way the dogs looked when they put their family. One of the things that looks weird when a sheepdog puts his face out the window on a freeway is the jowls flap up, and it'll scare the hell out of a kid.
Wait a minute. The kid is screaming because she sees the jowls on a sheepdog flapping up.
Well, let me tell you something. You guys can sit there and go, oh, my God, I got a boot to my groin, thank you very much. I'll be singing soprano because
do you not think that that is well-deserved? Do you not think that... Do you have any children?
Ma'am, I got a 9mm put in my ear because all I wanted to do was show some brat a dog.
Do you have children?
No, I do not.
Are you married?
No, I'm not. Look,
I can't imagine why.
I was driving a 2002. Well, you can get in your little cuties all you want, but I was driving a 2002 Windstar. I had 2 rare breed dogs that breeders normally charge $600 a pup, and I was willing to lay it on one of these kids going up and down a slide. And what do I get for my trouble? My teeth kicked in, my groin kicked in.
You know, every time you tell me what happened to you, it gets worse.
Yeah, exactly what happened.
I sustained injuries to my kidney, 2 broken or cracked ribs, what the doctor told me, and I got a strangulated testicle.
From getting kicked in the groin?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
And I lost the sight in my right eye temporarily.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I cannot imagine that you think this is logical. How, I mean, what did anything flash through your mind that this little girl is screaming? I've been watching all of these things on television about children being murdered and taken from their families.
No, according to you,
and you
she
think that
hasn't
this
seen the
is
news.
okay.
According to you, she hasn't seen the news. That's what you just said to me. So, which is it?
Well, according to you, she has seen the news.
That you have watched the news. You have seen this happen. And you think that this is okay? That a little girl is screaming, that you should not be scared to death and worried about what's going on, that you think this could be okay?
Sometimes the kids think the doggy's going to bite.
So that's why she's screaming so loud.
No,
you shove a sock into her mouth.
Because you have, yeah, exactly. You have pulled her into the van.
No, you don't get it.
Misled her.
No, you don't get it. You don't get it.
I'm really sorry.
All right,
I'm an educated
Angela,
person.
thank you.
I do get most things. You don't get it.
I got to take a break. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Mr. Robert Green, who was showing kids a puppy. He took a girl by the hand, put her in his van, drove up onto the freeway. She was screaming so loud he put a sock in her mouth and taped it shut, and then brought her back to the park saying all he wanted to do was show her a dog. And apparently 2 of the fathers set upon him and beat him up pretty good before the police showed up and arrested him. And he says that this is a new age of vigilante brutality, and he's the victim of it. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686.
I'm not a pervert, and I wasn't trying to get kids. I was wearing a 3-piece suit. I had on a beautiful fedora. I was wearing wingtips. I had a neatly folded handkerchief in my pocket. I was wearing white gloves, and I had covered the wingtips with spats. I was very well dressed. Anybody to think that I would mean harm to those children All I wanted them to do was see those puppies and come riding with me for a few minutes.
And in the process, put tape in a sock in a child's mouth. Here is Mike on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hey, yeah, this is Mike. I'd like to talk to Mr. Green. How old are you, Mr. Green?
I'm 38 years old.
You're 38 years old?
Yes, sir.
It has never been acceptable for kids to talk to strangers. I'm 34. It's never been acceptable for kids to talk to strangers, let alone get in a vehicle and ride away with them.
I asked the kid, do you want to see a... Oh, in other words, I can't ask a question.
Just like when a child is 5 years old, do you expect them to know right from wrong? No, they don't. They don't know right from wrong. I got 5 kids at home, and there comes a point in their life when they become teenagers, yeah, they know what it is. My son don't watch the news.
Where do those fathers get off? Where do those fathers get off beating me up? I thought the sirens approaching were coming to help me. And
you got what you deserve. I would have done the same thing to you if you would have came up and done that to my kid.
You would have kicked me in the groin.
I would have kicked you there many times.
Oh, so you fight like a girl, huh?
It doesn't matter what you want to say.
Oh, well, whatever, man. I mean, the fact is, you had this father's girl, and he was probably petrified. Where's his daughter?
I took her. How many... Do you guys listen?
No. It's imperative. You can't just take somebody's child. There's too many sickos in the world today.
Now, let me ask a question here.
Yeah, you might have been dressed up in a nice three-piece suit with gloves and everything on. That just might have been a cover-up. Trying to get some little child in your van.
No, sir. This is the way I dress.
You probably just got lucky. That child's probably lucky that you caught him.
Why did I turn around and come back?
And you probably would have killed him.
Why did I turn around and come back? Why did I bring that child back if I meant her harm?
Because people saw you and got your tag number.
Nobody saw me. No one saw me. There were no adults around.
Yeah, you made sure of that. You were looking around to make sure there weren't any adults around.
You know something? Look, why do you all keep saying I took this child? She said, yes, I want to see the puppies. That's number one.
Have you ever heard that you cannot hold a child, you cannot hold anybody under the age of 18.
I took her back, but she was screaming.
Let alone talk to a 5-year-old.
And the reason why she wasn't wearing underwear is because she had wet herself, and she was frightened of the dogs.
So now you're telling me you brought her back with no underwear on?
Oh, does that make me a pervert too?
Yeah, definitely.
You guys really need to get a clue.
We got to get a clue. Jim, you are the guy that needs to get a clue. We'll be right back. Thank you for your call, Mike. 1-800-449-8686. Oh, so now, no underwear, sock in the mouth, drove her around in a van just so she could see the puppies with their faces stuck out the window, and she was screaming because the jowls were slapping their nose. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
Why did this child have a haircut when you brought her back?
I took her over to my friend BT's house. You know, everything you said...
You took her over to your friend who?
BT Charles. He's a friend of mine.
You took her over to a friend's house to do what?
To get our picture taken together. Mr. Henry, I would...
You know, there's nothing you can say to me now, Mr. Green. You took a child from a playground because you say she consented to see some puppies you had in your van. You took off in the van so she could see what the dogs look like when they stick their heads out the window on the freeway. Now you've got her over to a friend's house. You've given her a haircut, taken off her underwear, and had your picture taken with her, and you say you didn't do anything to this child.
I did absolutely nothing to that child. What I did have happen to me, and what you and the other members of the media keep glossing over, is that I had the living crap. I had 7 shades of crap kicked out of me. I had 2 cracked ribs, strangulated testicle, I lost the sight in my right eye, I had a lacerated kidney along with a lacerated scalp.
Can you blame any father who finds his daughter in a van with you with her underwear off for pounding hell out of you?
Excuse me, don't we have a constitution that says you're innocent until proven guilty?
Well, you know what? That's what the police have got to go by. That's when they Mirandize your ass. But a frightened, scared father...
Oh, so you endorse this. Let me be clear. A nationally syndicated talk show host endorses brutal vigilante violence. Thank you, Mr. Hendry. I'm going to put that down in my diary today.
Oh, okay, fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I will alert the media on your behalf.
Good. Go right ahead. Fine.
So you're not afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. Here is Wendy on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes. I was, going down the road, and I come on to this program, and I heard him speaking about the puppies, car sick. I had to pull over because this man made me car sick. The way he was talking, like he was the victim, He is not the victim. The little girl that he took from the park and went and taped a sock in her mouth, and now she came back with no panties and cut hair. If something is not done with this man,
Wait a minute.
he is going to become another Westerfield.
Wait a minute. I'm the guy. Who's Westerfield?
The guy down in San Diego.
Exactly.
Has he been convicted?
No, he hasn't.
So now both of you are guilty
and I
of
pray
slander.
that you will be convicted. I hope the book is thrown at you. I hope whoever the lawyers are for this little girl can find so much stuff to put on you that you will never get out of prison. I mean, I live in Kansas, and I'm afraid of you. My children should be afraid of you.
I had a $5,000 gold cap on my front
I
tooth.
don't care what you wore. As far as what you wore, you sound like a pimp to me. Is that what you were going to do with this little girl? And you keep talking about what you were wearing, and in every other sentence you've been talking about your groin area.
I was kicked in the groin directly.
Citizen, and you do not deserve to be on the streets. You deserve to be locked behind bars.
Excuse me.
And I hope when you are locked behind bars that the prison that you are in, the men find out what you have done, and you will get more than a kick in your groin. You will get more than bruised ribs.
Ma'am, I was wearing a pork pie hat with a three-piece suit.
You sound like a pimp. I don't give a crap what you were wearing, and I can guarantee you, you will go to hell for doing this, because you did something more to that little girl.
It's nice to talk to God Almighty. It's great that you
You
can
did
guarantee what
something
happened.
more to that little girl.
I did not, and the police have checked out
She
everything,
came
and I'm
back
fine.
She is probably
She wet her
traumatized right
pants.
now, and she probably cannot explain what happened to her. She's probably going to have years of counseling because of what you did to her.
Ma'am, I didn't do anything. And to
That
prove
is a
that
load
to you,
of crap. You did not take
how
a
do you know?
5-year-old, go get her flipping haircut, shove a sock down her throat, bring her back with that underwear, and then try to explain to everybody like we're idiots that you did nothing to that little girl.
Look it.
That is a lie.
Well, I find it hard to believe,
You go to prison
too.
for the rest of your life.
All right, and so I deserve, and I'm going to tell you right now, what I was wearing was worth more than your car.
I don't care
That's
what you
right.
were wearing.
Three-piece suit.
I don't care what you
Pork
were
pie
wearing.
hat
You
with a white
could have
cane,
went down to Goodwill and you
spats,
could have got that outfit.
white gloves.
I donate stuff all the time to Goodwill that's, worth more than your flipping shoes. Who cares what you were wearing? Who cares how much it costs? The fact is, you
Well,
are
here's
not
why
the
it's
victim.
important. Here's why
Nobody
it's
cares what you were wearing. The little girl that you took and probably molested is the victim here. You are not the victim.
Mr. Henry, if
You
this woman
deserve to
refers
be
to that, I will
thrown
sue
in
her.
prison.
I will sue her, and I'll sue you, Mr. Henry, if she's allowed to say these things one more time.
Look at Val. You're wearing a pork pie hat. You got on a $5,000 suit.
Which one of the fathers pulled over my head, pulled the jacket over my head, locking my arms, and then started kneeing me in the face. So I've got a busted nose on top of that.
Well, my husband would like to actually take you for a ride in our van and see how you return back to the park.
He wants to play with me?
Is that what you
I'm
did
sure
with that little girl?
That's so your husband wants to play with me.
Is that what you did with that little girl? I thought you just took her for a ride.
What's your husband want to go with a ride for me for?
Well,
You sound a little
just said
nervous,
you took
Mr.
that
Green.
little girl for a ride, and now I said that my husband wants to take you, and you said that my husband wants to play with you. Is that what you did with that little girl, Mr. Green?
I'd say that again. I didn't understand you.
Yeah, we know what you do with
I
that
don't know
little
what
girl,
you're
Mr.
talking
Green. You don't
And I
just
can tell you
go
this much.
to the park
I can
and
tell you,
pick up little girls
my
and take
attorney
them
will
for
be in
a
touch
ride.
with you and in touch with
If
those
you want to
fathers
take girls for a
who
ride,
knocked
then I suggest you go and find
Who knocked
girls that are over the
a
age of 18
$5,000
and
gold
not go
cap off of my
around
front tooth.
like a predator searching for little girls that are in the park with
Well, you
their
know an awful
families.
lot about it, don't you?
All right, look, I think the lady has made some fantastic points, and you must be a complete and utter imbecile not to understand how people...
You know, I've had enough of being called names.
Well, wait a minute, not to understand how people would react to a man in a pork pie hat with a gold-capped front tooth. Dude, you're in my neighborhood, man, and there's only one reason why you're there. The circus is in town.
He's a pimpin'
How
predator
dare
is
you.
what he is.
A pimp? Pimps don't drive
pimpin'
Windstar vans.
predator.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. What?
Pimps don't drive Windstar vans. They drive Escalades.
1-800-449-8686. Go to Frank. Frank, go ahead. You're on the Phil Henry
Yes,
Show.
sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I tell you what, I raised 5 daughters and 3 sons.
Oh, here we go.
And I guarantee you one thing, if he so much as touch one of my babies...
What, is this Walter Brennan?
Huh?
Don't be a smartass, Mr. Green. Listen to this man.
He wouldn't need to worry about going anywhere because I'd blow his head off.
With what?
38, a 230. Well,
You better be clear because you got to know how to load them first.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. I was in the Marine Corps, and I know how to load everything they ever had.
There you go, Frank.
Hey, listen. I had 4 inches of hair plugs lost because of that blow to my head.
Oh, you poor child. I wish they'd have done a good job on you, you son of a bitch.
What? Do you know how much hair plugs cost?
I don't give a damn.
That's
you queer bastard.
That's $4,000 in hair plugs.
Poor child. My ass bleeds for you when I ever earn you. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry that gentleman that kicked you in the groin and did everything didn't do a good job. But I guarantee you, I'm 83 years old, and I do my best to kill you with my bare hands right now.
Why should we worry, Mr. Green, about your $4,000 gold-capped front tooth?
Well, I tell you what, he wouldn't have any of them. He wouldn't have any of them left when I got through with it.
There isn't a Mexican on the...
Okay.
You're a Mexican?
No, sir, I am not.
Where were you hatched?
Sir, I was hatched in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Poor Pennsylvania.
Well, if it's any...
they ought to have shot you a long time ago. You know
something? You shoot guys for showing kids dogs. And you must really hate guys in vests, because that's all I did wrong.
I've raised more dogs than you've ever petted.
I didn't say... You raised or married? Now,
No, I'm
that's
not
really
like
funny.
you.
Yeah, that's funny.
You weren't born, you were snatched up.
Snatched up?
Yeah, snatched out of some whore's belly.
Well, that's what they teach in the Marine Corps. That means my son will not...
That's all right. We had the F-bomb dropped.
Did you hear the filthy mouth on that old coot?
Well, I don't blame the guy. Here is Mia on the Phil Hendry Show. Mia?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've been listening, and I am appalled. I'm trying to figure out where he's calling from because I would feel a whole lot safer if it was
Wait a minute. I didn't do anything wrong. The kid's fine. I didn't do nothing to her. I dropped her
You
back
know
off
what?
at the
She's
park.
not fine. If you took her away from her parents, she's not
Wait a
fine.
minute. If I
What would
took
be
the kid
fine is if your kind would be strapped down and beaten to a bloody pulp, and I am so glad that they kicked your ass. And if it was me, I would still be kicking your ass. I have 2 children, and if you ever came near them, it would take Jesus himself to come and take me off.
Where do you live, Mr. Green?
I live in Little Rock.
I'm in Little Rock.
Holy Jesus.
Whereabouts?
I don't feel like telling you.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't.
I live
Just tell me what parks you cruise in so I can stay the hell away from you.
5th and Main.
I work down there,
All right.
Mr. Green.
Fine.
Fine is right. And my husband will probably have your nasty pedophile ass on his caseload.
Your husband's a cop?
He's better than that. He's better than
Superman? I don't know what's better than a cop. He's Superman.
Are you being a smartass now?
You would think. And I'm trying to
Let me
figure
ask you
out
a question,
why
Mia.
on
In
earth,
your
if you
neighborhood-
keep saying you did nothing, you took her. First
showed her
of all,
some
that's
puppies.
kidnapping.
And
That's
I
a
wrote
charge.
Daddy's
For
little girl on
that,
her tummy with a
if you
magic
didn't do
marker.
anything else, you kidnapped her.
I didn't do anything other than write Daddy's
Did you
little
ask her
girl.
mother could she go?
Her mother wasn't around.
Did you ask her father?
I only took her for 10 minutes.
I don't care if you took her for one.
Now, let me
It's
ask you,
kidnapping.
in your neighborhood, you must know this, a guy in a pork pie hat with a feather in it, that's class.
No,
And a
it's
gold
not
front
on
tooth?
my side of town.
Not on your
It's
side of town?
tacky as hell on my side of town. And the only place that I could possibly think of it would
I
ever
had
be appropriate is in Detroit.
Hello? Well, see, she hung up. But I had on a suit coat with padded shoulders.
Okay. Good for you, man. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
Here's Phil Hendry. 1-800-449-8686.
Talking about me, I'm suffering.
Well, how did you suffer?
When I pulled up, first of all, why did I bring the child back to the park? That's number one. I brought her back because I wasn't intending on taking her anywhere. Number two, I pulled up in that van and leapt out of the van with my fingers in my ears because the screaming was absolutely unreal. And that van hadn't even stopped rolling. I jumped out. rolled to the ground thinking that the police were going to help me, and instead those vigilantes are there and beat the hell out of me, even though that screaming almost made my ears bleed.
Wait a minute, you brought the kid back to the park because she was screaming so loud your ears were bleeding.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
1-800-449-8686. This is Lynn on the Phil Hendry Show. Lynn, go ahead.
Mr. Green, I have no words to describe my contempt for you. All I can say is you are a lucky man that it wasn't me, a 5'3", 120-pound woman that pulled you over, and you're lucky to get out of there with your life. This is the message I am sending to you from all the parents and all the decent people in this world. Your behavior is never going to be tolerated again. If this law and the Capitol Hill doesn't deal with you, we parents will, and that's exactly what happened to you on that highway.
I got this.
Man, and I do not care what you were wearing. I couldn't care less, but describing a small child who has been abducted by some pervert and screaming to the top of her lungs.
What did I do?
I'm surprised you're alive today, and in my opinion, you shouldn't be. And a lady called in earlier who was way nicer than I can ever be to you.
Wait a minute.
And the only thing I disagree with her with is that you should be put in prison. Oh, God, no, I don't think so.
Wait a second.
I do not want my and everybody else's tax-paying money providing life and air and food for you to breathe.
I have
because you do not
$600
deserve it.
puppies.
You deserve exactly what you did to that child and worse.
I had
It will not be tolerated. We have had it with you people.
I had $600 puppies
I
that I
do
was
not
willing
give
to give
a
away.
damn about your $600, your suit, or whatever else. Maybe you ought to get out of that van if you need attention and prance around for somebody to see you besides a small child. And if you don't think taking a child from a park, from their parents, without their permission is kidnapping, you have got another thing coming. You are a sick man.
Amen, Lynn. Amen.
Look, I had just had a
We want
facial.
laws changed so we do not have to deal with the sights and sounds of you ever again, and we do not want to pay for your upkeep. We want you eliminated.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Henry?
Go ahead.
When you said amen, is that you're just encouraging her, right?
I agree with this
not
woman.
encouraging
Not
me.
encouraging her.
I had just had a
And
facial.
you go ahead and call your attorneys, and you call Capitol Hill if you want to, because you know what? I'll meet you there with more people than you could ever imagine.
All right, I have another question then. You sound a little shaky. What are you sitting on?
Ha ha! You want to make a joke out of this? She's angry.
I am furious. The rage that is going through me right now cannot even be described.
Who reimburses
There's nothing
me?
on the news anymore except stuff about people like you. These poor innocent children don't deserve to ever come in contact with
Who
anyone like
reimburses
you.
me for the
And I'd
facial?
like to know where you get off feeling like you're victimized when you take a child and you pick them up and take them from their place of play or their homes or
With a
anywhere
puppy.
else.
It was a puppy.
I do not care.
Ma'am, when I'm angry, I don't sound like I'm sitting on the back of a Harley Davidson. No, I'm saying...
Will you knock it off with your smart-ass remarks?
I'm saying that I had a $300 facial. Those guys beat me up and ruined the mask.
I'm sorry they didn't finish the job. I don't care about your face. I don't care about your teeth. I don't care about you. None of us do. Don't you get the point?
Well, I guess I better be going then.
Yeah, I guess you better
go to
be
hell
going.
for all we're caring.
Come on, Phil. Tell her I don't exist.
Why did you do that?
Tell her that I'm a voice that you're doing.
Lynn,
Yes.
I'm actually doing his voice.
Yeah, but I'm the one that takes all the heat.
All right. He doesn't exist, Lynn. I'm doing his voice.
There are too many of them out there that aren't just voices.
This is true. This is very true.
And we have had it.
And go ahead and tell her how you're satirizing it and therefore bringing out the point that it should be prevented. Yeah, go ahead and tell her
It
that,
needs
Phil.
to be out there.
Yeah, it is. That's why we do it.
Yeah. Lynn, are you still mad?
I am furious.
But I don't
I
exist.
am furious with all the news that I have seen about children being picked up and
Yes.
abducted and abused.
Yes.
It is ridiculous. It's just crazy.
Well, it's something that has to stop.
Yeah, you tell her, Phil.
Shut up!
There need to be
Thank you.
laws to protect the victims
Right.
and not make them further victims of the crime. We
Word.
need to stop tolerating this craziness on our children.
Well,
It's
I
insane.
totally agree with you, ma'am. I totally agree with you.
Are you at the state prison visiting somebody?
All right, thank you very much, Lynn. I think you made some... What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? You're doing my voice.
All right, I'm doing his voice. I did some other work last week in addition to my radio show, and somebody said to me, somebody said you used to be a ventriloquist. I said, no. Well, where'd they hear that? That's the radio press. That's the proficient radio press. They say I used to be a ventriloquist. I don't do that. I just do characters. And that guy was one of them, and no kid was abducted, and...
What a pussy.
All right. But if you'd like to know more about our show, go to philhendryshow.com, PHILHENDRIE show.com, and you can check out all the things that we do. All of our audio comedy, all of the stuff on our show is archived in our audio archives and also in our 30-day archive. So all of the shows going back 30 days you can listen to. And don't miss our souvenir shop. Ted's of Beverly Hills bowling shirt, Jay Santos Citizens Auxiliary Police T-shirt, and the best of the Phil Hendry Show CDs.